Warcrow is Corvus Belli's fantasy skirmish game set in the mystical magical world of Lindworm. Song of the Dormant is their newest two-player starter set, and they saw fit to send me a copy so that I could take a look. This is actually the second part in my series looking at this box. The first part we took a look at the miniatures, we saw how they went together, the two different kinds of plastic and resin that they used. We've been exploring this game in a whole bunch of live streams, and I've been chopping them down into videos for you. If you want to see those videos, I'm going to put a link up there, not up there, up there in fact, and you can go check them out for yourself, including that first video that I was talking about, looking at the models themselves. In this video, however, we're going to be looking at the terrain. You get a big old pack of stuff in the box as well, so that's what we're looking at. You get something like this, you get a couple of these. We're going to be looking at that terrain, we're going to be looking at how it goes together, we're going to be looking at the quality. We're getting there. Slowly and surely. Yeah, I know things have been a bit slow recently, but I'm doing my best here to put out stuff for you. What I wanted to do is I wanted to say a big thank you for everyone who continues to support the channel and continues to support the work that we do here to try and push out these games to more and more people. For you guys who have not yet done so, if you like what you see, please give me a subscribe, give me a like, and put a comment down in the comment section below about what you think about this video. For you guys who want to throw some more support my way, you can check me out on Patreon, you can become a YouTube member, you can join my Discord. All links for that are going to be down in the comment section below. But again, even if you don't want to, thank you for everyone. Let's carry on. Let's make it a great 2025. But for now, let's get back to the video. So, in the box, you get the Assail Borderlands Scenery Pack, which is a bunch of, I want to say, cardboard, but it's like pretty thick. You can see it. Yes, we get like a bunch of terrain, which I can put together. There's like 10 plates, 10 accounts in here, tokens. Here we go. 3 buildings, 4 walls, 4 terrain templates, and a paper gaming mat. So I want to build the terrain first, because I want to see how it is. But first, I need to work my hobby knife, which is somewhere, because I did put it somewhere. There we go, with a brand new blade, so I have to make sure that I do not cut myself. Right. So, in the box, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of terrain. I guess this is enough terrain to begin with. This is like 2 foot by 1.5, my cutting mat. So this should give you some idea about how much space there's going to be on a board and how much terrain this is going to, how much space is going to take up. For me, if I'm playing a narrative game, I'd want more. If I'm playing more technical, move stuff around, maybe a bit less. But I think this looks fine. In the box, you get 2 ruined chapels. There is one of them. You get, there's the other one, Chapel B. You get a ruined tower. One thing about the ruined tower is that you get this extra piece. This piece is supposed to go inside the ruined tower. I could not think of a way to get it into the ruined tower without breaking the joints. It may well be that I'm dumb, but that's just me. But you get a ruined tower, even without it, it's fairly sturdy. And then you get a bunch of walls. I forgot to put the pegs on these walls, so I'll put the pegs on these walls. Well, that's what you get. It's made of cardstock, but it's pretty thick and it feels sturdy. It feels like it can take a little bit of a bashing, but ultimately it's very lightweight. It's all pre-printed. I really like that about this terrain. I kind of wish that companies did more of these kind of very cheap, easy to produce terrain sets, like in-house. So if we're going to compare this to Games Workshop, for example, all Games Workshop stuff is plastic. It's all very heavy. It takes hours and hours to put together, to clip out, to glue, to paint. I wish they did more of this in their starter sets specifically. That's something that I would like. I'm happy that something like this is in the starter set because it allows you to get a kind of cool looking board going relatively quickly. So there's a couple of pieces of scatter terrain. There's what looks like some coffins or like a tree. If you had the pieces, you could totally replace these trees. You could totally replace this with anything on a similar size base. To give you an idea, this thing, we know this tree fits wonderfully. So if you have other trees, not necessarily belonging to Warcrow, you can put these on the board where the scatter terrain is supposed to go, and it'll totally work for you. So you get either tree or coffins. I might make some of these up actually. I got a set like ages ago of just like generic undead stuff, and it came with a bunch of coffins. So I might put these to actually make this as a piece. It's like a little wall, a bunch of coffins and gravestones. I might do that. That'd be fun. There's also this thing. What is this? Oh, this is like a magical. So this is again another piece of scatter terrain. It's like it's a bit difficult to see. Like a magical briar, like a thicket on one side, and on the other side it's so it's supposed to be like a small hill with a well on top of the hill. So actually, when you think about it, the amount of terrain that you're going to be using for a game of Warcrow, like you get all this stuff, and then on top of there's one more piece. Yeah, there's one more piece. You've got like a bone pile, or on the other side, like a big old sinkhole. So I guess this is supposed to be I'm impossible because you're not going to be able to go through the sinkhole to be able to climb over the bone pile. If this is the amount of terrain they expect you to use, I would say that's a good amount of terrain for a skirmish scale miniatures board game. I'd say that's good. Like I said, my cutting board is about 2 foot by 1.5. Once you spread all of this stuff out, there's enough terrain on here. And with a little bit of modeling chops, you can model the graveyard, you can model the tree, the hill, the unbreakable briar, the sinkhole, all this kind of thing. So pretty nice, actually. I like this. For a starter set, I think there's a good amount of stuff in here. Oh, there's more. There's even more. Yeah, so there's like a mine also you get, and what looks like a tree. So actually, this is a lot of stuff. How much? I'll tell you what, let's look in the book to see. They have in the thing, they've got a bunch of setups. So this is the basic deployment, right? You're looking at the tower, the briar, and the one of the ruined chapels. You're looking at where's scenario 2, the big old sinkhole, which they give rules for, and like not much else. Oh, this one, so you're inside of caves, so you've got a big old sinkhole. The scenario 3, you're playing around the massive cavern, and there's a whole bunch of things around. So it looks like you can use as much or as little of this as you want. I guess there are campaign books, or there are going to be campaign books with other layouts, because in these missions they're very specific about what you're doing. You're fighting over the mines, you're fighting over you're doing all that stuff. So I think this is decent. It gives a decent amount of terrain for what you're doing.